When it comes to following through for vets, so many politicians are missing in action. During these upcoming midterm elections, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America have put together a great list of talking points that really matter to them.
Here's the deal. The IAVA's list contains several items that you guys have talked about on Take Part Live in the past. It includes suicides, benefits backlogs, female veterans, exposure to toxic burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan, education, and employment. Of course, all these issues are important, but how the heck do we go about getting them solved once these guys are in office?
First of all, I think that it's on all of us, right? I don't want to interrupt you, but I think it's on all of us to go out there and ask these questions because, as I said, saying you want to support the troops is almost condescending, you know, when all these politicians are out there wearing the flag pin, et cetera, et cetera.
Here's the thing. There's no downside to not following through on that statement. You never get punished for it. Like, I'd love to up the stakes on these representatives and members of the Senate. If you go out there and you vote to authorize a military force, if you join Congress, you should also be in the reserves. Like, that's how you do service.
Ooh, there we go.
You should get your health care for a year from
draft on us.
Get your health care for a year from the VA and then see how you like it.
Well, I mean, that's
Let
the thing.
people
With
feel
follow-up,
the thing.
funding does not equal fixing a problem. And I think that's something that politicians way too often pitch. You got to stick with it, and you got to figure out how that funding is going to fix a problem. It often doesn't.
I just want to give everybody at home a couple of questions. I think that we all have some that people should be asking our elected officials if you come into contact with them, whether it's before the midterms or after. Yesterday, we talked about the burn pits in Iraq with the chemical weapons that many troops have been exposed to. Ask your member of Congress, do you support helping veterans exposed to toxic chemicals act? There is actually an act in Congress that would help some of these veterans that we talked about, and nobody's doing anything about it.
There's another way you can kind of hold their feet to the fire to these elected officials. Ask them if they support broadening the peer network to include more women veterans as peer support and outreach specialists. We need to get these folks on the record.
You can also ask, for instance, Democratic Senate candidate Bruce Braley in Iowa why he didn't go to 76% of his armed forces committee meetings, where you learn things about how to follow up.
Bruce, you do not want to mess with Mary Katharine. And if you want to keep up yourself with veterans-related issues, go to TakePart.com/returntheservice, where we are sharing the perspectives of young vets as well as some unbelievably incredible success stories.